Don't engage alone. We do this together.
Yeah!
Yeah!
We got it! We got it!
New 52 book.
Somebody clip this movie.
Welcome to Comics League Movie Night. I am Vengeance. Today we are discussing Mat Reeves The Batman, known to me as probably the best solo Batman movie I have ever seen. Solo Batman. BVS does not count because that's a team-up movie. But so let's bring in our Bat panel.
I am Phoenix!
Hello, Robin.
What up, everybody? I am the Knight.
No, you're not. You're Robin. You are my Robin. Next up,
All the hopes and dreams of Krypton live in you now.
Mr. Tim Drake. What is up?
What do you mean, Tim Drake?
I'm doing a thing where we're all Batman characters.
I'm Dick Grayson.
No.
I'm Dick Grayson.
No. Yeah. Nick is Grayson. He has to be Grayson.
Okay, then I'll be Jason Todd.
Okay, you can be Todd. And here comes our Tim Drake.
At least you didn't make me Damian Wayne. I can live with that.
Actually, I have a better one based on your intro. You're Azrael with the flaming sword.
Even better. Thank you.
There you go. All right. So we're talking about The Batman. Easy. I want to start off by saying this is one of those movies that I myself, self-admittedly, will say I misjudged this when it was first announced. Because let me be clear. I did not think Pattinson could be a good Batman. Granted, this is going after seeing him in Twilight. Long story. So, emphasis on ex-girlfriend. So, but the part that sold it for me was that trailer when he goes, "I'm vengeance." I was like, okay, because I didn't know if he could do the Batman voice, and I didn't know if he could look the part. He actually did really well.
I gotta say, like, I was actually really hyped for this movie going into it because it, like, literally the trailer just hit all the right notes for me because, like, this film is basically really the kind of the vibe, the atmosphere that I really wanted to because it does. It's basically It's basically the Tim Burton Batman films without the camp.
Yeah, it's basically Michael Keaton's Batman cranked up to 10. And without the camp. Exactly. That's a fantastic way to do it. And this was like the first Batman that really put more of an emphasis on the detective aspect. I mean, Nolan kind of had that, but I don't think to the degree of this movie. So,
No.
So I'm going to go around. We're all going to talk in general, our thoughts of the movie. Nick already gave his. Taladia, how about you? Your thoughts on the Batman?
I mean, it took me 3 attempts to finish this film.
3?
Yeah.
Did you watch it like 1 hour sittings or something?
No, I couldn't. I fell asleep halfway through it.
What?
It's kind of a long movie. I'll give you that. And here's here's my one issue with it. It feels long.
Yeah. Plus, like the plot, the one big problem with this movie is it creates a sense like, oh, the movie's over. Nope, no, it's not. It's like the entire third act is just, it feels ancillary because as soon as they get the Riddler, you think, oh, the movie's over. Nope, there's another hour left in the movie. So just, I don't know.
It says a lot when the Snyder cut, the 4-hour cut of Justice League, I think flows better because with that one, it feels like 2 hours instead of 4 hours because it's like constantly moving. And Dune, absolutely.
Dune is longer than this movie, and it just blows by.
Yeah, exactly. Now, what about you, JHeat?
The pacing for this movie is bad. I will give you that. Let me be the first to acknowledge that here and now. This movie is very dragged out.
True.
To the point,
yeah, go ahead.
if you cut this movie back by 45 minutes, now say what you will about the Batman and Catwoman scenes, but if you just dial this back by 45 minutes, this film arguably would have done a lot better.
A little bit. Although the one thing I will say, this movie did Tom King's Batman better than Tom King's Batman. That says a lot. I enjoyed this. I read like the first, like I think 60 issues so far of Tom King's Batman. I'm enjoying it. The first half is better, but I don't hate the second half. But the thing is, because this movie is very obviously adapting certain elements from that Batman run, like some panels are legit recreated, like a lot of the Batcat stuff. But the thing is, he's more of a believable Batman in this movie. And yes, this movie is still amazing. Don't get me wrong. And Ruth, we're still saying it's a great movie, but even the best movies have some flaws, except for Zack Snyder's Justice League.
In my opinion, the best part about this movie is their depiction of the Riddler.
Yeah.
Because, okay, I gotta explain. So they simultaneously like reinterpret him for a modern era and got that part right, while at the same time they still kept to the Riddler's character. Because basically true comic book fans know that the Riddler is a narcissistic egomaniac who the reason he does these puzzles is to prove that he's smarter and better. True comic fans, like you can tell they got that part of the character. And
yeah,
but at the same time,
go ahead.
This is probably the best depiction of a terminally online character I've ever seen. It like they nailed it. Like the whole like he's basically your average Redditor, or 4chaner or anything like.
Well, on that, Nick, what's actually really cool about this movie, it explains how supervillains get henchmen. That is actually really cool.
And it does it in a way that is like totally believable.
Yeah. Atchison says, I don't like Batman's costume in this film like at all. Because remember, it's supposed to be like a rough version of the costume because it's still year 2 Batman.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Like, yeah, this is a year 2 Batman. So his costume is still a bit homegrown. I do like the detail that like isn't like his bat symbol basically the gun that killed his parents?
No, it's a batarang.
Okay, but I thought it was made out of the gun that killed his parents. It does look like
it could. I don't exactly know. It doesn't say.
It does look like it's. I mean, the thing it does look like a parts of a gun, like melted down or whatever. So
I wouldn't be surprised if that's what he did with the gun after he made it. I do like the idea about how the symbol itself is the batarang. That's really cool. Nifty. Yeah, a lot of this movie does a lot. And the thing about to comment once more on the roughness of the suit, that was always one of my issues with like Batman origin movies historically, is that the suit shows up and it's automatically the final version of the suit that like has everything he needs. With this one, it was a rough version of the suit, so it's like
Batman
I can see that.
Did that like very well, like the whole getting the suit together thing. Batman Begins did him beautifully.
Yeah, the guy had a few hundred subscribers, if I recall, and gets them to take up arms. A YouTuber with thousands of subscribers can barely get in like a video. Not realistic. That's a good point. That's a good point, Dave. David says the Batman's costume was like a 6.5 out of 10. I didn't love it. It's just fine to me. The cowl is great though. Yeah, I like how the cowl has like stitching and stuff. So it looks rough and everything. Randy says the detective parts are good, but I'm getting tired of a dark, gritty, and realistic Burton balance of light and darkness aspects better. Oh, he said Burton balanced those aspects better. This movie is very dark, like 100. Like, and everyone thought Ben Affleck's Batman was dark. This goes darker than Affleck, I think.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yes, that's true.
It's darker than Sorry, go on.
Oh, I was just saying how this is a very dark film. This is not for the faint of heart. This isn't your titular Batman the Animated Series or any real Batman experience. This is a very grounded noir. They claim I do see a lot of elements of Batman Year One in it, but it's arguably enough its own story, or at the very least a modern retelling of it.
Could be.
They also took elements from like other movies. Like this movie owes a lot to Seven. Like the movie Seven by David Fincher, where they're taking like a Zodiac killer type figure, and like those type of noir detective films.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, definitely. And at least DC like identified again which books this is based on. I believe it's Long Halloween, Year One, and Batman Ego, I believe, are the other ones. Maybe Ruth says, maybe because I love horror, I love the dark and gritty approaches. Yeah, and here's the thing. It was actually a new way to do, and to echo what Nick said, it was a wholly new way to do the Riddler. Because when you think about it, the last time Enigma was in a movie was
Batman Forever.
Yeah.
And well, to be fair, Jim Carrey was just doing the Adam West version of the Riddler. Because because if you watch the Adam West version and then you watch that one, it's very clear that's where Jim Carrey was drawing from.
Yeah. David says cinematography is a 10 out of 10 for him for that movie. Story was a solid 7.5. If it ended where they caught the Riddler, would have been an 8.5. Yeah, I agree with you. The other thing I love, and I guess we'll transition to talk about our favorite scenes. One of my favorites is the introduction of the Batmobile.
Oh my God, yes.
The way they do it is like it's a wild animal being let off its chain. And I'm like, it just revs up the engine and you can hear it like activating. It is so badass.
And like, okay, mine is a car chase, but like my favorite moment is I got you, and then you see it like jump through the flame, like like I love how they do a high energy car chase, but they still have a low tempo song. Like,
yes,
oh my God.
And where they have the Batman walking out towards the Penguin's car, but they do it in a way that sounds like a Western. If you notice, when Batman walks, he sounds like he has spurs.
But they don't put it in spur sound effects. It's more heavily implied.
Yeah, it's more heavily implied. That I like. I like when like at the very end, the way he makes the entrance into the arena, where he like explodes the roof and just drops in. And Batman kills someone with a gun in this movie. Because if you notice, when he's fighting one of those criminals up there, the dude tries to rush him with the rifle. Batman grabs it, redirects it at one of the other criminals, and the gun goes off. By Batman's own definition of killing, he killed someone. So suck it. Also, so he has like gauntlets that are designed to block bullets. And they say he's not inspired by Wonder Woman, but okay. And he punches someone's head into the floor multiple times. Sorry, they're dead. That's my problem with that's the one issue I have with Mat Reeves, is that he went up and said, oh yeah, my Batman doesn't kill people, and it's designed to be a very realistic version of Batman. But he does stuff that realistically would kill them. So
here's my headcanon.
Yeah.
Robert Pattinson's version is not trying to kill people, but if he inadvertently kills criminals because of his actions, like whatever. And he's not setting out to kill them, but if he does, it's like whatever.
That's exactly. And that, honestly, Nick, that works with this version of Batman the story, because remember, he's still trying to figure it out. Heck, and this is why when I say I don't like his Bruce Wayne, that's intentional, because he doesn't have a Bruce Wayne yet.
Like this version is he's deliberately not having a persona. It's like he's always Batman. Like even in that funeral scene, he's still Batman in that scene.
Which is why, again, I don't hold that against the movie, because I know that's an intentional story choice that works, by the way. How much you want to bet that kid is going to be Robin?
I mean, remember when we reviewed the movie, I literally called it out then.
Yeah. That has to be Robin. There's no way that's not Robin. Watch.
But would it be Grayson himself, or will it be another amalgam character? Like
if it's Grayson, what they could do is make it so the kid's first name is Richard, middle name is Grayson, and then whatever the hell the name of the mayor was.
Yeah, and you know,
it's just that way. If they want to bring in Richard, I'm saying Richard, so the bots can't hop in the chat. By the way, if I was gonna call him Nightwing. If Nightwing, if they want to go with the Nightwing being the first Robin route, that is the best way to like put him in there.
Well, it's just the story the kid has is very much a Robin type story, and like that one shot where like he looked at him and like the kid looked back. It just, to me, that feels like foreshadowing.
Plus, if you notice, they did that again in the funeral scene, and I think that kid knows that Bruce Wayne is Batman.
I mean, to be fair, it's not that hard.
Yeah. Ruth asked a good question. If you could replace the actor in this movie, would you? And who would you choose? Are you talking about the actor who plays Batman? Because if so, no. Here's why. Because Pattinson plays a great he plays a great Batman for this movie. I feel like she went Batman, because the thing about Pattinson is that the way he plays Batman is very much tied to this movie, and taking him out and replacing with a different one wouldn't work as well, I don't think. What do you guys think? I'll start with Nick.
I agree. This movie in general is just wonderfully cast. Like, the actor for Gordon is, in my opinion, an example of a racial recast done right. Yeah. You know, like whenever we say like right actor for the role, this is the example that I always prop up, because when I heard that this guy was going to play Gordon, I instantly knew, okay, that's going to be great, because I've seen this guy in a lot of this stuff, like Hunger Games, Westworld. He's a great actor, and he's perfect for Gordon. Like,
yeah, he is.
And so I knew he would play a great Gordon, because I've known his acting style, and he's perfect for that type of role. So this is, in my opinion, an example of right actor, right role done right. Like this and Kingpin are like the two examples I always bring up. Also, can we get some love for Andy Serkis as Alfred? We haven't mentioned that. And
yes, solid Alfred.
Oh, and the also thing, Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman. It's like, she is not the first Black woman to play Catwoman. She's not even the second. She is the third Black woman to play Catwoman. So I don't care that's a Black Catwoman, because like it's been done literally twice before. So who cares?
Arguably three.
And she does it really well too. That's the other thing. She plays a fantastic Selena Kyle.
Wait, are you saying she's the fourth Black Catwoman? Please explain.
Yeah, JJheat, explain.
Wait, are we counting that notorious Catwoman movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the Eartha Kitt, Halle Berry, and then Zoe Kravitz.
What about Anne Hathaway? Wait, never mind.
No. We're talking about Black Catwoman.
Anne Hathaway is as white as can be.
Okay. I walked through that. My mistake, people.
Are you blind?
Yeah. Randy says Tim Burton's Batman is still better to me because it appeals to both kids and adults from a marketing standpoint. You need to appeal to the biggest audience possible. That he makes a good point. That is true. That's a thing that this movie has against it, is that as a Batman movie, it's not very like generally marketable, because it's more of an, when I use this designator, I don't mean it the way you guys think. It's more of an adult Batman movie.
Well, here's the thing. Live in an age with like multiple versions of characters, like the multiverse stuff, and like there needs to be room for like different interpretations. Not everything needs to be wide appeal. Like, okay, this version of Batman is more for adults. That's cool. There are other versions that are more wide appealing, like Keaton, Ben Affleck, or whatnot. One does not make the other one worse by comparison. Both can exist, and we can enjoy both or not. And it's our choice which ones we want to enjoy. If you like the Keaton version of Batman better than this, that is awesome. And I'm going to be honest with you, I probably do too. But the beauty of our modern era is we can choose which versions we want to enjoy. So if you want to choose to enjoy this version, cool. If you want to forsake and watch Keaton Batman, by all means, please do so.
Yeah, and honestly, here's the thing. For a movie that's very hyper, that's not necessarily the best in terms of general appeal. Hey, what's up, Brown Destroyer? How you doing, my brother? This movie actually made a pretty decent penny. It made $772 million at the box office.
I also want to note, Batman v Superman made more than it.
Yes,
even
thank
without
you.
adjusting for inflation.
Yeah, before adjusting for inflation. Just wanted, yeah, and not only before adjusting for inflation. Remember, that is the version with a half hour taken out. That's really the key here.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And the thing that I love about this movie is it's mature in like the actual mature sense. Because like the James Gunn version of mature is fart jokes and excessive swearing. This is like the actual version of a mature story. So hats off to Matt Reeves. And Matt Reeves is probably like the one adult in the room of DC, I would say.
And honestly, yeah, here's the thing. Of all the movies, of all the DC projects that are coming out, Matt Reeves is the one that I'm totally on board for 100%, because if they're more like this, I know we're in for a good time.
So the question, Jared.
Yeah.
If Matt Reeves were to tackle another superhero, Marvel, DC, whoever, who would you want him to do?
Another DC character could be Huntress. I think he could really do. If this is any indicator, you could do Huntress like this.
I want to see Matt.
Lad, jeez, no! Don't forget the original Batman film,
Guys,
Adam West.
Hear me out.
Yeah, what's up?
Have Matt Reeves do a Daredevil movie for Marvel. A rated
that
R.
Could work.
A rated R Daredevil movie.
He can pull it off.
No. With Charlie Cox. Okay. Oh my God, yes.
The Punisher.
Come on, that's the obvious choice.
Now, in terms of DC characters,
only
Green Arrow movie, I think.
Only if they adapt one of Mike Barron's stories.
Yes, of course. So I could do. So in terms of DC, I think he could do Green Arrow well, Huntress well, even Black Canary well. I think.
What Marvel characters do you do?
Moon Knight. Well, Moon Knight, Punisher, any of the like street level characters, he could do very well.
Imagine if he did the Jessica Jones storyline.
Nick. Now, how about Matt Reeves for a Nightwing movie?
No.
Awesome. Oh,
Matt
Reeves does a Wolverine movie.
Yes. Taladia, why no?
Because I want to see Matt Reeves take on the death in the family.
No, you realize he could do both, right? It's not like one excludes the other.
Yeah, we're speculating here. We're just saying which characters do you think you would do good with?
Because yes, he could do a great. He could do a great The Death of Robin story.
Jared,
yeah.
Matt Reeves does Spawn.
Oh hell yes! Hell yes!
I can see it.
Todd McFarlane would never allow it because Todd McFarlane can't. Well, and that's why we haven't gotten a Spawn movies, because he can't let anyone else touch Spawn. That's why we've never gotten it.
True. David says, I disagree about the maturity to some extent. I didn't care for the very blatant Obama era subtext.
Yeah.
A little bit.
A little too much.
The white privilege line took me out of the movie so bad.
Luckily, it was only one line. Besides that, I think it was pretty fine. But yeah, that one line, I was like, well, that's random.
Mm-hmm.
If you just said privileged, I think that would have been fine. But the very fact that you tacked on the white part, I was like, that kind of didn't work.
Yeah.
But
I just noticed Jared's got the Batman t-shirt on. He had
because when I saw this movie in concert, which is when they play the entire movie with a live orchestra doing the music. So there you go.
Yeah, one thing I liked about the movie is this movie definitely feels like it could have been made in the 90s.
Yep.
Easily.
Also, hats off, as a Nirvana fan, I really liked how they played Something in the Woods. By the way, I could actually play that song on guitar, but it's easy.
Brown says, I do not think this Batman is as comics accurate as some other people are trying to make it out to be. Yeah, to a certain degree, this is the type of comics accurate that they try to like. That, I mean, in some ways he is, but in a lot of ways I don't think he is, because here's the thing. He's not comic accurate in that, in terms of the current like version of Batman, whatever's canon now, basically is what I'm going to say. He had the Batman and the Bruce Wayne persona down immediately.
Yeah. Can I say like what I think was like the worst part of this movie for me?
Yeah,
like,
go ahead.
Why the frick did they have to shoehorn in the Joker in this movie? Why?
It was a deleted scene too, so it's like, but yeah, I'm like
a deleted scene that I saw in theaters.
Oh yeah, you mean the end scene? Yeah. That is kind of random where that happens. What they should have done is make that a post credit instead of like actually in the movie.
No, that you should not have had the Joker at all. Because,
okay.
Well, first and foremost, they said like, oh, we're not sure who the villain's gonna be. So it's not even a tease. It's just throwing in the Joker to throw in the Joker. And I'm sorry, the Joker's iconic, but I'm tired of seeing him face the Joker.
Because every Batman movie
having him face the Riddler was so refreshing. Can we just not have him do the Joker once, please? Because like Batman has such a great rogues gallery. Like literally, him and Spider-Man have the best rogue gallery of any comic book characters. Like for example, Mad Hatter as a villain would be like
he could work in this universe. I think Atchison says, I feel like minus the killing, the most accurate on-screen portrayal was Affleck. The killing part, though, because here's the thing: in canon, Batman has killed, so that didn't really bother me per se. And yes, Atchison, so many Batman rogues deserve some love. Like Hush, they could really do Hush.
Tell me, Jared, do you bleed?
You will. Worst part, Batman failed in everything important in this movie. Then what is the point?
Why do we fall, Master Bruce?
So we can learn to pick ourselves up. Was he really a Riddler? I guess so.
I mean, well, yeah, there was riddles. There was lots of riddles, and he had the question. Like, they made him more like a Zodiac killer. Because if you look at his outfit, it is very much Zodiac killer inspired. But like, there were riddles. There was question, and just like the personality of him was spot on for the Riddler. Like, I know it's a bit cringe, but like that scene where Batman outsmarts him and he goes, "Oh!" I don't want to annoy you guys like this.
Oh, are you doing the Bane impression?
No.
I know what you're talking about. When Batman's annoying him and he starts like basically crying, kind of.
Yeah, he does kind of like that autistic squeal, like kind of thing, because like Batman's actually outsmarting him.
Yeah. Dave says the Joker thing was fine to me. I wish they had left the scene too. I wouldn't mind a big villain gauntlet film like Long Halloween with the Joker as just one of the many villains instead of a big event. Well, they have a short story for that. It's called the Ben Affleck Batman movie. And
also, I do like how they like very, very subtly are setting up the Court of Owls.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Which, by the way, Court of Owls needs to be the third movie.
Third. 2 is going to be Hush. 2, I'm fairly certain is going to be Hush.
Well,
if you're going to says, I'm sorry, but can I, Nick? Let me read these comments real quick. Brown Destroyer says, I am sorry, but Affleck and Nolan's Batman are way better than these Batman. Yes, Nolan plus Affleck equals perfect Batman. Yes. Now, and it's true. You're allowed to express truth, but in terms of like, being Hush, because there is a scene where there was a scene when they reference Elliot. And then the word Hush flashes on screen, and I could be wrong. I don't think Reeves is the type of director to just throw that out there.
Yeah, I think ending the second movie where he finds one of the Talon nests and then that leads in the third movie, I think would be good.
Yeah, I think they could do that part as like maybe a post credit of movie 2, because I think movie 2 should just be Hush. Plus,
What if
it
they
can also bring back Catwoman for that one.
Well, if they bring back Catwoman, they might do Heart of Hush, where he
Yeah,
removes her heart.
No, or they could do just the regular Hush stories. What I'm talking about.
Well, yeah, they could. But if Catwoman is in play, they might actually just have him remove his heart.
They could
Her heart.
combine the two into one movie.
Yeah.
Which I could see, and then the post-credit scene is like Batman discovering the Talon nest and doing it that way. They could definitely do, because there's no way the plot points they set up in this movie. There's no way you could tell me that Matt Reeves is not setting up the Court of Owls as a live-action villain. There's absolutely no way.
Also, in the second movie, you do need to have him start training the Robin.
Yes, you need a Robin in movie 2. I feel like at this point, he would set that up. Plus, that's a great way for him to like fight the darkness of Batman, because it's been long established in Batman continuity how they really emphasize this. When Tim Drake became Robin, the idea was that Batman uses Robin because that Batman needs a Robin because it keeps him from going down that dark path.
Oh, okay. I have an idea. So you know how Dick Grayson was supposed to be a Talon?
Mm-hmm. Ah, I see what you're doing there.
So basically, some shadowy figure is trying to capture the kid. Because as it turns out, he is a Grayson. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Did they ever reveal the last name of the candidate or something?
Yes. I think it's Mayor Edwards. I'll look it up in the script book.
Did they say what last? But they also could say his mother's maiden name was Grayson,
or that he was adopted.
Okay, yeah, no, actually, yeah, adopted. He's adopted, and his parents were from the circus. Because then he could do like, oh, they were circus carnies and whatnot. They adopted him. Perfect. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Jared. You're a genius.
And by the way, the mayor's name is God dang it.
Breathe.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, I'm gonna put in the chat here because for some reason.
So the two options are: he's a Grayson from his mother's side, his maiden name could be Grayson, or he's adopted. Either one of those works fine. I think the adopted one is actually better, but still.
There you go.
And so he is, whatever the kid's name is, and he finds out his parents wanted to name him Richard or something, but whatever. And so so basically he's kind of setting it up, and they got the Hush storyline going, and he basically takes him in and makes him Robin to protect him. The only way to protect the kid is to invite him in, finds out he's Batman, he wants to fight, and the kid has the darkness inside of him, he wants to kill the Riddler, kind of thing. And then you got the Hush storyline going on parallel. I think it would be great.
Yeah. Brown says, a question: do you guys think that Nightwing is popular enough to start a cinematic universe? He wouldn't be starting it. You mean appearing in it? Yeah, I think he is. I think that Nightwing is popular enough to do it, because whenever you see, because he's been the Robin or like the Nightwing main character in many different depictions, from Teen Titans to Titans to hell, even the original Batman movies.
Could he hold down his own solo movie? Yes, but you need to have him show up in a different movie first. Because
yes,
the problem that a movie studio is going to make is, oh, let's just go straight into a Nightwing movie and have him just have him show up as part of the Batman, have people get used to the character and like him, then do the solo movie. Because as great as Nightwing is, the mainstream doesn't really know much about Nightwing.
Yeah, and remember, by the way, the original DCEU had a Nightwing movie in a universe where Nightwing is dead. They could have retconned it, but my point by bringing that up is that he didn't show up in any other movies beforehand.
Wait,
And
what?
to quote Goyer, yeah, the original plan in the DCEU, like remember when they released that massive slate that had like 80 different movies? One of those was a Nightwing movie. And to quote
DCEU,
Goyer,
the
Snyderverse. To quote
yeah.
Goyer, he said that was just because WB was just throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks.
Yeah, because remember at one point, He Who Must Not Be Named was going to do a Batgirl movie. I said he was not going to be named.
No, I know who you're talking about, which I'm so glad he's not, because him making any female movie at this point would be like, I think he would do an overly sexualized Batgirl, and it just wouldn't work. It's like when he tried to make a Wonder Woman. He has a Wonder Woman script that is awful.
I mean, I like as much as I say like the Bruce Timm stuff is overblown, he would probably take a leaf out of Bruce Timm's book and make her like pursuing Batman. Like imagine like that version of Batgirl doing the Killing Joke scene with Ben Affleck in live action.
No, no. Why?
You've
Nick?
officially given Jared nightmares.
Whoa!
Why did you say that name?
Oh! Why? Why?
I must break you, and
It fills out his clothes like lentils fill out a sandwich bag.
I broke
You're
you.
gonna die, clown! You think that's funny? I don't hear you laughing now.
Holy
Clip
crap!
show
I
help
broke you.
Jared.
I broke Jared today. This is a comic sleep moment.
The psychos just keep getting younger.
I love that Nightwing clip. That's so useful.
Oh my
That's
god!
so useful.
I broke you.
This is Sparta!
Top 10 comic sleep moment of 2024. I'm counting it.
Yes.
Oh my!
Batman doesn't do ships.
And and guys.
But here's the thing, Nick.
Guys.
Here's the thing, Nick. That sounds like something that person would do.
Why do you think I brought it up? And that's why you got so mad, because you knew he would do it.
I know it was true. I wasn't angry at you, Nick. I was angry at Warner Brothers because that's what they would allow him to do. Instead of rushing to a Justice League movie, should have gotten a. That was the original plan, because the original plan was to do Man of Steel 2 afterward, do Batfleck, and then do BVS.
Get him alone, Carrie Kelly.
Yes, exactly. That's what Zach really wanted to do. It's just, again, Warner Bros. Was constantly like, no, you have to get to Justice League now.
I'm sorry, Jenna Malone would make a great Carrie Kelly.
Yes, you would. I wish what they did is they had her name be Carrie in the movie, because that would have been dope. It wasn't, but still, I'm like,
Where is she in the movie again? I can't remember.
She was just a random crime scene technician. And by the way, Nick, she wouldn't necessarily be Batman's partner, because this is after Robin's death. We can say it's Grayson, but they could easily change it to be Jason, and Batgirl would be in the movie with Affleck fighting Deathstroke.
I mean, as far as the Carrie Kelly Robin, it's Dark Knight Returns, and she kind of in Carrie Kelly Robin searched herself anyway. So,
but this is not necessarily the whole Dark Knight Returns Batman, though.
I mean, I'm sorry. I thought we were talking about Affleck still.
No, we are. I'm saying that the way they did Batman in this is not necessarily wholly Dark Knight Returns.
I mean, he very much he is like a lot of, like, they literally recreated Batman Returns, Dark Knight Returns panel. So he is.
No, I know that.
Batman.
Well, every Batman movie for the most part recreates Dark Knight Returns panels. What I'm saying is that the way the stories were set up, it doesn't sound like Carrie Kelly would show up in most likely should be in the nightmare scenes, or like probably a sequel, but a Batfleck movie that takes place after Justice League.
Also, it's very obvious that they probably could have brought in, if they did a Huntress, it would have been the Helen Wayne version.
Yeah, they could have easily done that.
Because Batman had been Batman for like 25 years at this point. So
and he was married to Catwoman in this universe, and they got divorced.
And you could say that like they got married and had a kid early on. So you could have a 20-year-old woman as Helena Wayne and be the Huntress.
Yeah, and I gotta say, I like the idea that when Robin dies, if they do, let's say that it was Jason and Nightwing was still active.
Yep. I know what you're about to say.
What is great is that when Robin dies and you see Batman go down this dark path, because that could be the plot of Batman of the first Batfleck movie, is the death of Robin, because that lines great into BVS. What they could do is essentially have Robin die, and then you see him go like all dark and gritty, and then like basically branding people, going full on like almost like a villain. And then you have like his life starts to fall apart. Grayson goes to Bloodhaven because of this, kind of like Titans. Then
or the Nightwing solo series.
Yeah, it's essentially that. And then Catwoman divorces him, takes Helena, and goes to and like moves out and goes somewhere else. So you see Batman increasingly become more isolated. Then in the movie after Justice League, you can have Batman saying, "Hey, I'm trying to change. Come back into my life. I need you." Essentially,
yeah, it's good character. It's good character arc. I can see it working.
Yeah, because if you notice, and this is what people missed out with the Affleck Batman, and I want to like get all your guys' opinion on this, because first, and I said this many times, no one in BVS defends Batman and says, "Oh yeah, you're all good." Alfred's like, "No, I don't. I think you're going a little too far." He even tries to convince him not to go after Superman. Superman obviously is anti-Batman. The world's anti-Batman. And what's cool about it is that then it's Superman who inspires Batman to be better. And then once we get to Justice League, he is pretty much the comics Batman.
Faith, Alfred. Faith.
Yeah, if you notice, he even stops killing people. And by you mean Morena Baccarin? They already had Zach's Catwoman. He said would have been Carla Gugino, which I could totally see after Affleck.
She was the therapist in Sucker Punch, and also she was
the voice of the Kryptonian ship in the Snyderverse.
Oh yeah.
And she was Silk Spectre 1 in Watchmen.
Yeah, exactly. So that's who Zach wanted to play Catwoman.
For an older Catwoman, it's perfect.
Yeah, for the Catwoman opposite Affleck, 100% that works.
Also, I could totally see her, like the modern Catwoman outfit. She would look great in, even to this day.
Nick, can you imagine a Huntress costume done in like the style of the Snyderverse, where everything is like hyper detailed and realistic? Can you imagine that?
Yes, please.
That would look so dope. Someone do a fan art of that and DM it to me, and we'll send you and we'll give you a shout out on the next thing. The Snyderverse Huntress. That would be dope. So,
by the way, you can still bring in like her Bertinelli kind of stuff to where
she changes her name.
Well, what happens is basically she never really knew her father Bruce Wayne, because like they got divorced at a young age and whatnot. You could say that. So like when she was like 3, so she never knew it. So basically, Catwoman kind of shacked up with she's been shacked up with the Bertinellis for this whole time.
Yeah, there you go.
So she was essentially raised by Catwoman was there, and the Bertinellis. So she's Helena Bertinelli, but as a portion, she changed her name to Helena Wayne as like a character beat moment. We're like, okay, I'm acknowledging you as my father. I changed my name to Helena Wayne.
Well, not only that, you can make that a plot in the Huntress movie where like they send her after Batman. She doesn't know Batman is Bruce Wayne. When she discovers it, she's like, "Oh my gosh, I've been hunting my father." There you go.
Brown
Eva
Story makes
Green,
an excellent point.
Yes, Eva Green would make a fantastic Poison Ivy. She would be perfect as Poison Ivy.
Oh, I mean, if you didn't want to, like, you could have the parents get killed and include Catwoman as part of this if you wanted to.
You mean Catwoman gets killed?
Like basically as part of Huntress's back, because like Helena Wayne's backstory, their parents get killed.
No, that's Bertinelli. That's not Helena Wayne's.
Sorry,
origin.
Misspoke.
Yeah, you could do that. It's just I would, because here's the thing. I don't want Catwoman to die, because it would be kind of cool if Batman 2 is Batman is basically a Snyderverse Bat family movie. That would be kind
Yeah.
of cool. You could say, you could title it Batman, The Family.
No.
Whatever. Imagine Eva Green's Poison Ivy. Not Morena. Baccarin would make a good Catwoman. I just don't think it would work. Because, again, it would be Carla Gugino. Because here's the thing about Gugino. Age-wise, she is lined up with Affleck. And I could see her having really good chemistry with Affleck.
Yeah, and like Carla Gugino has like I could see her like doing like some of the stunts and whatnot, you know, or just like she has like because Catwoman needs to have this kind of presence to her,
which Zoe Kravitz has in this movie as Catwoman.
Yes, very much so. I mean, it helps that she's an insanely gorgeous woman, you know.
Yeah, that works. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love where she brings Batman to the apartment and then he goes, "You got a lot of cats." That's so good.
Yeah. Also, like one of my favorite scenes in the beginning is when he walks in and the cops are like just looking at him, like what I love is this Batman interacts with a lot more people, like a lot more of the cops and whatnot. Where this Batman isn't necessarily a myth; it's just you don't see him that often.
Well, speaking of the beginning, how about that beginning part where the bat signal is showing and all the criminals automatically start looking at any dark alley because they're so frightened of the darkness because Batman's here?
Well, the whole thing about the bat signal is the bat signal says is that he is here, and basically it's like you're playing Russian roulette, or should I say bat roulette, where you might get away with your crime, you probably will. But like
risk it?
Nine criminals out of 10 are gonna get away with their crime. But do you want to be that 10th person? And that is basically like what he's playing off. Because like you notice how when a criminal sees it, he gets scared and drops the bag and run.
Yeah, exactly. Which I dig that. I believe the rumors of Pattinson, Bitbang, and Kravitz in the Batmobile because that's what I would do. Yeah, nice. I'd love to see Talia again on the big screen. She could be a side character in the Affleck movie.
I mean, to be honest, okay, let's all be fair here. If we were Robert Pattinson and Zoe, and we had
we would. So
we would all bang Zoe Kravitz on the hood of the Batmobile.
Nick. But going on to I would also enjoy seeing Talia on the screen. Who would play Talia in the Batfleck movie, though?
That's a hard choice.
And Brown, yeah, she was Silk Spectre 1.
I'm trying to think of like someone who's like in their 40s or 50s, an actress. wait. Jennifer Garner. No, that's not gonna happen.
And she shows up fighting with size.
No, also the fact that like no, it's life imitating art because Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner are like ex.
In that case, also have Jennifer Lopez show up. By the way, you'll be hilarious if like Talia shows up and Enigma goes, "Oh, Talia, you look electrifying."
Boo.
Fluff off.
That's what the Riddler would say. Stop it.
No, he wouldn't.
Yes,
he
would.
Riddles, not puns. He does riddles, not puns. It's a different tier.
He would also do puns.
No, that's what I do.
Wordplay at best.
Wordplay. It's still wordplay. It still counts. Something a lot of people would miss at the end of this movie is Catwoman putting her cats in the storage compartment of her motorcycle in that scene. Oh, yeah, she was. Because remember, that's her leaving Gotham.
Yeah.
Wait, in terms of Talia, it would be hilarious if they cast Morena Baccarin as the Affleck Talia. Because remember,
she'd make a really good Talia.
Because remember, she voiced Talia in the Decamu.
Actually, she's perfect. She's got like the perfect presence and like the perfect she's my pick for Talia. I think she's perfect.
Plus, the thing about Talia is that she has to have in some way a form of seductiveness, and and Morena has that. She 100% has that.
Morena has that kind of like she's seductive, but it's more subtle. Like this is why I think Eva Green is the perfect Poison Ivy, because Eva Green is like very outwardly aggressively seductive, which is like a little bit, well, and then and Catwoman is outwardly seductive but not aggressive, whereas Talia is subtly aggressive, subtly seductive, and also not it's a spectrum.
Yeah, Dave, the punneler. It's the Punisher, but he spouts out awful dad jokes before gunning down criminals.
Wait. How did Dave find out about my alter ego?
Oh wow, jeez.
Oh, wow.
So Taladia, who would you
Yeah.
want to play Talia, or do you agree that that the DeCamu voice actress would be a good one?
The Camu voice actor would be okay.
Yeah, for Talia in the movies. Yeah, I
No.
think so.
And then the Riddler says to Talia, "Man, you're quite the Firefly."
Wait, how is that okay? But him saying Talia is so electrifying is not okay.
We're used to Nick making bad puns.
Wait. That's the exact same thing.
We stand here on the precipice of my achievement, not yours.
Okay, so Nick won't be showing up on these streams anymore. Jeez. We're talking about we're talking about just general Batman stuff. But to conclude our discussion of the Batman, let's transition to, and I'll play the clip. Yes.
Never gets old.
We started talking about this, but sequels to this movie. So I think 2 should be Hush. And what they could do is make it so, because Hush is also when Selena Kyle returns to Gotham. So it's actually set up really well for Hush. And then after Hush, or maybe Hush is serving the Court of Owls.
I think because I think the second movie should set up the Court of Owls, it should be like the side plot.
Yeah, because what it could be is that when Batman is investigating Hush, he learns that there's this secret organization that runs Gotham. You don't say it's the Court of Owls yet, and then at the end of it, it's revealed to be the Court.
See, the thing is, the problem with adapting Hush in the Batman is you have to strip out a lot of the book, because you're not going to have Joker, you're not going to have Harley, you're not going to have the extended Bat family. There's a lot, you're basically cutting out 40% of Hush to do the storyline. So also the whole Lazarus Pit stuff, the whole all of the Ra's al Ghul stuff, because it's a lot of stuff because you haven't introduced yet. So you're gonna have to fill it in with something else, and I think Court of Owls.
Well, what they could do,
the Assassins would be great.
What they could do is, remember, in the new 52, technically the entire Court of Owls story is 2 trades. The first one's the Court of Owls, which introduces it, and then we can have Hush. The second one is, I think it's called Wrath of Owls. No, it's called the City of Owls, which is about the Court of Owls against Gotham City. So you could do those 2. You could do trade 1 as the Batman 2 and trade 2 as Batman 3, and have both movies be against the Court. Because the Court is a type of organization. I think you could get away with devoting 2 movies to them.
I just think the final scene of the Batman 2 is when he finds one of the owl nests. I just think that, and then that's oh, holy crap, cut to black. It's a perfect teaser for the next movie.
True, but then see, the thing about doing the Court of Owls in movie 2 is that it solves the whole as an addendum to Hush. It solves a lot of you're cutting out 40% of the plot of Hush line.
Oh, remember how in the Court of Owls storyline, Batman was trying to protect the guy running for mayor?
Yeah.
Okay, what I'm about to say you're gonna love. Okay, so in the wake of the bombing, Thomas Elliot comes back and starts to run for mayor, and then basically Batman has to protect it. It's Batman is trying to protect his old friend Thomas. You basically combine the mayor character with Hush.
That can work. I like that. Plus, it fits the whole theme of the movies of everyone else being corrupt. So that actually works really well.
Yeah, because I think just having the mayor character be Hush, and so you're combining Hush with that. Basically, you're combining the first part of Hush with the first part of Court of Owls, and you're kind of doing an amalgam of the 2.
Yeah, and then the second one is straight up Court of Owls.
He's working.
I mean,
like maybe he's working for the court, but he kind of goes rogue where he just really wants to take down Batman, so he goes a little bit too farther than the court, and then you could also have something where Hush has a gun of Batman, then you see boom, Hush gets shot, then you see a Talon, and then it wanders off, and
Dave has a good point here. Since Thomas Elliot was killed by Falcone, they do confirm this in the movie. Maybe he comes back as a Talon.
I mean, I kind of want a Talon active before that, but that's possible. I don't know.
It works in terms of setting up. What they could also do, now hear me out on this. So throughout the movie, Hush / Thomas Elliot is constantly talking to people on the phone and getting orders and stuff. You don't know who he's talking to. It's like he's arguing with people on the phone. Then at the end of the movie, the last shot is essentially is the Shadow Organization. All of a sudden they start talking. They say, Hush failed to take down the Batman. So now it's time to take matters into our own hands. It turns around. It's Owl's mask.
I think finding the because I want the second movie to be a Hush movie, set up Court of Owls. So that's why I want as little of the Court of Owls in the movie.
That's why I said don't. That's why I said have him be talking to someone getting orders, but don't say it's the Court of Owls until the end of the movie.
Yeah, agreed.
You could still have that mystery of who is he talking to, because it could be the League of Assassins, it could be anyone, and then you reveal at the end of the movie is the last shot of the movie is revealing the Court of Owls.
Okay, compromise. So we do the finding the nest, and then all of a sudden the room catches fire, and then as he's leaving, it's revealed in the corner was a camera. So we go into the camera and we see you do the speech, then you pan, you see the Court of Owls, cut to black.
What's the camera serving?
It's recording. It's recording the room. It's a security camera.
But if so the room's on fire and then he goes straight for the camera.
No, he leaves. He didn't even see he may have noticed the camera, but he might not know or not, but the camera is recording Batman, so it allows the Court of Owls to be watching him, and that's why they set fire to the room, because he was there.
That can work. I could see that. That can kind
Basically,
of work.
they have remote triggers that can set fire to the room in case of this very situation.
Because they have done that. Have you guys watched the Pennyworth series? I haven't yet.
I need to.
I need to. What's kind of funny about Pennyworth is that they market it as Pennyworth, the butler of Batman. Really, as if we don't know who Alfred Pennyworth is. So
also, I just love
Pennyworth.
the idea of
Alfred Pennyworth.
Of
I'm
Alfred.
sorry, I had to.
It's basically just Batman, James Bond in the 1950s, and I love it.
It's kind of that. So I think that's a good place to leave this. We're going to wrap it up. So I'm going to go around. How do you got so Dave actually has a good question real quick before we wrap up. Do you guys believe Clayface should be working with Hush in part 2? I wouldn't mind if they discarded the realistic pretense for a big sci-fi villain. But that's kind of a central tenet of this universe, that it is a lot more grounded. They could, don't get me wrong, I don't think Reeves is going to do that. If he did abandon that, I would go with that. Question, what about Jason Todd? They can't do Jason Todd in this universe yet, Tavia, because Batman hasn't had a Robin yet.
They need a Robin to kill him. They don't even have a Robin.
Yeah, and I don't think they would kill off Dick Grayson, considering that Zach did get backlash for saying, "Oh yeah, that was Dick Grayson."
That was so stupid. I'm sorry, Zach. I'm sorry, Zach, but that was a stupid thing to do.
Although I do agree, a question, what about Dick Grayson Nightwing? He would be Robin, but by Tavia, we talked about this earlier in the stream if you want to rewind that, but he would be Robin in this universe. He wouldn't necessarily be Batman, be Nightwing yet. But the thing about Zach killing Grayson is that it does explain why Batman would go that dark, like the one that he really considered his son dying. So I get story-wise why that works. But so let's transition to the end. So I'm going to go around. So Taladia, how do you rate this movie out of 10?
7.5.
That's pretty generous. Why is that?
Because, like, obviously, after watching it 3 times to finally get through the film,
it's too long.
It's too long, yeah.
Okay, that's a good point. How about you, JJheat?
As for me, I'd give it about an 8. The pacing is the real negative for this movie, and I'll even admit I fell asleep my first time watching through it. But once you make it to the end, it's a pretty good experience. I really hope the Batman Part 2 moves out the pacing a bit, because I don't think they're going to get away with the same thing twice.
How about you, Nick?
I give it a solid 9. I just really dig like the atmosphere, the characters, the visuals are all honestly beautiful. Pacing is a thing. The white privilege line that in of itself knocks down a full half point in of itself. And then the Joker thing was a bit cringe. But overall, it's a very, very good movie. With a very good movie with some very glaring flaws, but still a very good time after all. Very.
Yeah, the other thing I don't like about that Joker cameo is that it's very clearly a rip-off Heath Ledger Joker, because if you look at his face, it's got like a crap ton of scars on it, and I'm like, I see what you're trying to do.
The thing I don't like is it's superfluous. It is completely
that
superfluous.
Too. Ignore. I'm saying, in addition to being superfluous, it just seems like he's trying to imitate Heath, and it just doesn't work. I don't think.
It's like they did it for like the like oh, the Joker's in it, kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And in fact, that's not even a tease for the next movie. It's just, we just threw the Joker in there just because. Just like honestly, if I didn't dig like the visuals and the storytelling so much, this I might have I would have knocked out a whole point just because of that.
As for me, I give this movie like an 8 out of 10 because it's supremely long. There are sometimes it lingers on things a little too long. The Joker thing does seem kind of like out of left field. I like the Riddler. I like the atmosphere. I agree with Nick. The music is great. The action is great. The Batmobile is freaking great. It's just, the pacing is what really hurts it for me. But since the rest of the movie is awesome, I still give it like an 8 out of 10. So that's really what I do. Dave says 7 out of 10, solid but underwhelming in some regards with some cringe writing and subtext. Yeah, the white privilege line is what takes off another point for me. Randy says, I would have had every movie have their own movie with Lex in the background forming the Legion of Doom, capturing every hero one by one, which would force the heroes to capturing the heroes. I'm not sure.
I get the concept of an overarching threat rallying the team together.
No, that works. The Lex Luthor recruiting the Legion, that works.
I had to do this. Jared, I had to do this. My name is Lex Luthor, and I'm here to talk to you about the Injustice Initiative.
Yeah, the Lex Luthor recruiting villains, that works, because that could also play into Zach's Justice League Part 2. It's just the whole he captures the Justice League too. I'm like, I don't see that happening. Tavia says 10 out of 10. Okay, fair enough. But so overall, it's a solid Batman movie, and I think it's one of the best solo Batman movies. I say solo because otherwise, if it just said Batman movies, I would say BVS. So, on that note, everyone, let's do our wrap-ups. And by the way, so next week's movie is going to be Keanu Reeves' Constantine. Yes, that is right. We are finally doing that movie. And then the week after that is going to be The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. So that's the rest of January. In terms of Comics League, Britt and I are going to be talking about why Injustice sucks. In terms of commentary, yes, it's going to be so dope. In terms of commentary, I'm going to be talking about I'm going to be probably giving you guys an update on what the channel is going to do in 2024. And Under Two Capes, I'm still working on that one. So Taladia, where can one find you, and what have you got coming out on your channel?
So you guys can follow me on my YouTube page at Taladia Plays, and on Twitter at @LardiaPlays_. On my YouTube page, I have just posted up my my impressions video for the closed alpha that I got to play for Suicide Squad Killer Justice League video. That's on my channel. I will be doing collab with JJheat and Jared on Wednesday for the Justice League, the first last issue of Volume 1. So we'll be covering that and the Rise of the Justice League, as it's going to be called. So we'll be talking about that, and I'll be doing more Suicide Squad coverage.
How about you,
Nice.
JJheat?
As for me, you can find me on at JJheat Blaze. I am over 190 subscribers. I am truly blessed and honored by each and every one of you. Let me just be the first to say that. And my celebration stream, my live review of Gotham Knights, the TV show, is this Monday, followed by tomorrow, where I do an Anime Blaze review with Nick Lenz on Fire Force Season 1. So hopefully we can get the 200 by the summer. So
I'm sure you can. I'm sure you can. How about you, Nick?
All right, so you can find me on Twitter at the Phoenix Press. YouTube, just search the same. In about an hour, I will be facing Lieutenant Surge in Pokemon Yellow over on my channel. Make sure to hop over to that stream if you want some cool stuff. And then on Monday, we're wrapping up Rewatch, and then on Wednesday we got another episode of Comics Watch coming out, and then and then also don't forget we always do the Friday Night Frenzy. It's gonna be a hopping good time.
All right. So on that note, everyone, I was talking about all of the villains gang attacked you. Attacked you one by one. Maybe we can talk about that later. And JJheat is going to review
Gotham Knights.
Gotham Knights. So yes, that is happening. So stay heroic, everyone, and I will see you in the next one. And remember, Lois Lane is Lois Lane. See you guys later.